So welcome back to the Ice Cube Curling Center here in Sochi, Russia. It's been a long week, but now we're finally to the playoff stages. My name is Sander Rulvåg. I'm joined by the lovely Sara Karlsson.
Lovely to be joining you as always, Sander.
This is, of course, the World Junior Curling Championships, and we have Sweden playing Russia in the men's page 3-4. Here you see the playoffs. Scotland and Canada, they're ranked 1 and 2. They play. Winner there goes to the gold final. The loser will skip on down to the semi-final and play the winner of our future game between Russia and Sweden. Loser of the semi will drop back down onto the bronze final and play the loser of this game. Pretty simple. If you're 1-2, you get 2 chances. If you're 3-4, only 1 chance.
Here you see the lineup for the Swedes. Johannes Pats playing lead, Jesper Johansson second, Gustav Eskilsson is third and also skipping, Patrik Marberg is fourth. Their alternate is Fredrik Nyman and team coach is Flemming Pats.
Lineup for Russia, we have the lead Artur Ali, second Dmitry Mironov, third is Sergei Glukov, and skip Evgeny Arkhipov. Alternate is Timur. I'm not sure if I'm going to try and pronounce the last name, sorry. Team coach Vasily Gudin, and they're just about to head onto the ice here. We take a look at the stone colors. Sweden playing the red, Russians the yellow. There's no T-draw before this game. Russia was ranked ahead of Sweden and will have the last stone advantage in the very first end.
Here you just see the teams marching in. Of course, they will have had practice on the sheet, even though there was no last stone draw. Just entering again to get that feeling.
Both teams would also have had a practice earlier today, a half hour each, to just get the feel of the ice. And you see to the left of our Russians and Swedes, we have Canada playing Scotland in the 1-2 page. We'll try to update you on those games as well, or that game as well, as we go along. So no national anthem today. I think we've honored all the teams.
We sure have.
So you heard the announcer, Anton Medved, curler himself. He's been the announcer all week here in the Ice Cube Curling Center. 1 minute to the start of the game. Well, it's less than a minute now. Just a few practice slides and we'll kick off the game. So of course the reason for us showing the 3-4 page and what the 1-2 is that we'll be able to see either Scotland or Canada in the semi and final as well. So if that's your favorite teams, well, you'll be able to see them later on. But again, we'll try and update you on the 1-2 page as we go along here. This might just be the most interesting game though. We have 2 really aggressive teams out in the ice.
Yeah, definitely both teams like to play with quite a bit of stones hanging around, so hoping for a really good and interesting game here. It certainly is a very important one, as the winner will advance and the loser will go straight to the bronze game.
Swedish fans here. We're going to be making some noise today, I believe. And we're kicked off here. Johannes Pats, the man with the pink gloves, has They're calling this one to the back of the forefoot. Might just settle down. Pretty close to T-line here. And it will come down and just snag a piece of the T-line. But the Russian team, they're looking to be a bit more defensive here.
Just when we said that they were going to be aggressive.
I think you might see some aggressive play. Just, you know, they hadn't had a game all day, just that 30 minutes practice. Maybe just want to play a little bit before they put up the corner guards. This is RUS-SWE, lead for Team Russia. Just looking for the controlled hit and roll to the side. Very nicely played.
Yep, so of course, when Russia has last stone in the end, Sweden will not just be letting yellow stones lie around. So they are going to go for the takeout as well.
We did see Russia play Norway in the final draw of the round robin. That was quite the aggressive game, although the Norwegian team certainly like to put stones in play. We have quite the open end over on the 1-2 page as well. Looks like Canada has an early chance to split the rings and light to it. But of course, Scotland has hammer in that game, being ranked first. This is Jesper Johansson. He will have a chance to practice his draw weight here and warm up his sweepers. And we'll come into the ring. Top of 4.
So Russia now going to roll to the other side. Maybe just looking to play the entire sheet and really get to know the ice before they start to make a more aggressive move. This is Dmitry Mironov with his first shot of the game, really curling big here. But he will catch the Swedish stone, and even though he rolls out, it's not the end of the world. He will probably have another nose hit with his second. So Jesper Johansson again with a draw to the house. And some better line for Mironov there. Gets a little roll out and sticks around. So Swedish skip and third, Gustav Eskilsson. Needs to remove the yellow.
And we'll take A first look at Sergei Glukov as well, third for Russia. We'll make the hit and check. Now, you are Swedish, Sarah.
Yes.
But who would you favour in this game, without being biased?
Without being biased, well,
if it's possible.
yeah. Well, I'm not really sure. I mean, this is Russia's been really, really good throughout the week. We've seen them play really aggressive. We've seen them make a bunch of big shots and really calling quite a good game as well. And it's also we're also in Russia, so they are feeling lots of support, and it's a great atmosphere for them. At the same time, this is actually the biggest thing that's ever happened to men's curling in Russia, making playoffs in a big event like this. So you never know if what they are feeling and what they are thinking. They could just feed off of that energy and become even better, or they could just get really nervous. So I think it's a lot depending on what they're feeling. Swedish boys are a very, very good team as well, and they might also be used to a bit more of pressure and playoffs and these just playoff stages, and that might benefit them. And see one of the players there, it's Patrik Mabers. It's really been very good when in the finals of the Swedish men's and other big competitions.
Yeah, I guess there's plenty of good teams in Sweden that they can play against, and you get a good level of competition back home. I've seen the Russians play the European Tour. They've been traveling around, playing a lot of the men's events. So I feel like they're quite experienced. It's probably helped their game a lot.
Yes, we're going to get our first look at Arkhipov, skip of the Russian team. So you being Norwegian and maybe not as biased towards the Swedes, any thoughts on the game?
I think it's going to be really tight. You know, if both teams just have, if they'll have a good day, it's just, I think we're going to see the last one, or the 10th or an extra maybe. That's what we're hoping for anyway. But it'll be interesting to see if the teams will play different now that they're in the playoffs. Obviously, it's Russia with last on playing a bit defensive, and we've seen them play aggressive all week. And do you think it's smart to just keep playing your own style all the way through? Seems like some teams maybe alter their tactics a wee bit when they come into the playoffs, be a bit more nervous and play defensive.
Well, we have seen Russia actually being a bit defensive with just the first end, so it'll be interesting to see what they start. But talking to Vasily Gudin when they made playoffs as well, he said that they were just going to do the same preparation and keep their same type of play and just basically keep doing what they've been doing, and I think it's a really wise call. You want to keep playing to your strengths, and no reason to really change anything just because it's playoffs. You want to still feel comfortable and play your own game.
So we'll see Arkhipov just throw his last one through the house, blanked the end, and we might just see a corner guard now in the second. And looks like Scotland's been able to play a double, or maybe the Canadians rolled out. I didn't see.
Canada actually rolled out with one of their takeouts.
Okay, so it's Matt playing hit and stick to lie one before Kyle Smith's last shot of the first end. See the team stats here. 80% for the Swedish team, pretty strong. 84 for the Russians. We have mentioned that it might just be a bit biased. I've seen this before. I think maybe even in the Europeans and Karlstad, I think the Swedish team there of Nicholas Edin was maybe had,
That's just because you're Norwegian.
So, but still, you know, even if it's slightly biased, 84%, they'll certainly prove that they've been playing very well, and with an aggressive game as too. You know, they probably wouldn't have had just easy shots all week. Sweden also with aggressive style.
Yeah, two strong teams battling it out for playoffs.
Yeah, they're all good shot makers.
And we're looking at another pretty defensive end here, as on the other sheet, Scotland just blanked the first there, so they will keep hammer in the second.
I think it will have something to do with nerves. Maybe you just feel nervous and you want to just play a couple of ends to kind of calm down and just feel comfortable. But before you start, you know, making the more important shots, the draws and everything.
Yeah, definitely. Just get used to the feeling of being out here on the ice, and also if you feel like you have a bit too much adrenaline, allowing yourself a couple of ends with takeouts might calm you down. Johannes Pats will roll out with that one though. See if Arkhipov draws the house or put up the corner guard now. Corner guard it is. So just looking to be more aggressive when there's really no risk, no Swedish stones in play.
Средний ближний, средний ближний. Средний ближний. Пока линия плохая. Пока линия плохая, Серега первый. Серега первый. Надо завалить его, надо завалить. Надо очень много завалить. Сип! Сип! Да! Прости, Жень. Стоп!
Sweden, though, not really liking Russia with corners and hammers, so they're gonna peel it off here with Jesper's first stone.
Что можно Димону еще поставить гард? Ну нет, до того не надо. 7-8. Чуть-чуть побыстрее, ребят. Ну опять я сейчас добавил. Ну, не совсем хорошо. Серега первый. Серега первый. Сейчас в конце ждем. О, пошла. О, вес. Си. О. Супер. Отличный гард.
Vilka in där? Stäng bort den nu.
So, corner guard in play, but not for long. Nice peel by Jesper Johansson. And looks like we might get some stones in play between Scotland and Canada. There's a Canadian centre guard up, a couple of stones frozen at the top of the 8. Looks like Cammy Smith is looking for another one. So we might just get a score over there in the second end. Meanwhile, on our sheet, still looks like a blank end, unless we get a miss from either team.
The corner guard ends up in the rings, but don't think it matters too much, as it'll still just be a takeout from Sweden.
Yeah, well, you won't be able to score your 2 though. You know, Sweden will just stick in the house here, and then you can't put up the corner guard. So it's kind of a mistake, but again, doesn't do too much harm. And there we go.
Lite in. Lite in.
So Gustav Eskilsson needs a little roll to the inside here if he wants to keep the stone in the house.
Nej! Wow. Allt som går, Johannes. Allt som går.
Don't think that's in, but I'm not sure if Arkhipov will come around here, but they will. Just a slight chance that you might overcurl here and tap the red one into the house, allowing Sweden to split the rings. If you line the open, Sweden might be able to play that hidden roll.
Yep.
And even if you make it perfect, it's a pretty easy run back for the Swedes. But of course, if you want to score your two, this is the way to do it.
Russia with no fear here in the page 3-4 game. It's just the way we're looking for.
We'll need some curl here. And it's going to be pretty open. Good thing though is it's pretty high up in the house, so even if Sweden makes a hidden roll here, it'll be a easy double for Arkhipov.
Skulle vi chappa ingen? Vi kan bakom är det inga problem med något. Nej, precis. Dämpa!
Styr in, Så хорошо, ты делаешь. Вон Димон 95 кинул добавлю. Вот не заехал.
Wow! Med! Wow! Nej! Wow! Nej! Wow! Med! Wow!
Looking pretty close here. It's just going to roll a bit too far.
Yep, so you heard Gustav say earlier that even if Russia gets a roll in behind here, it's not really a big problem. So we also see skip stats overall here. Arkhipov outscoring Mobbers by 6%. Do you think those stats will matter in this game?
No, I don't think so, Sarah.
Why? Please tell us why.
Well, it's in the past. This is present. Doesn't matter if you played 100% on average throughout the week. We're now in the playoffs now. You have to keep playing that way. Obviously, if you had a really good week, you'll be pretty confident coming into the game. And I think both teams are feeling pretty confident. Or maybe a bit nervous as if they lose. No gold. No second chance.
Keep hearing Sweden saying though that they're just here to enjoy the game, and I can tell you that the shot that Arkhipov just played is not really going to improve his number as he rolled out, and Sweden can now play the split here and make it difficult for Russia to get that blank that they were looking for.
Kör upp! Bra linje! Bara fort! Kala! Wow! Byt! Långt bak! Gör man ordentligt.
Just gonna draw in behind here instead.
Hela vägen! Kör! Måste vara lugn i början.
Won't really get the line here, Sweden. So still a very visible stone for Arkhipov. He's gonna play the hit and roll. Roll out, of course, as he now has the opportunity to blank this end as well.
Ska inte vara inne den där.
Oh, looking to overcurl here. Oh, just gonna tick the guard.
And did he tick it all the way in?
I don't think so.
No.
But still a steal for Sweden. Almost looked like he was gonna tick it and make the blank anyway. But just gonna go right past. Maybe some early nerves from Arkhipov. 2 misses. It's not like him.
No, definitely not. And if he would have just ticked that guard a little bit more, it could have been 2 for Sweden.
So Sweden with the upper hand here after 2.
Yeah, Russia still with a hammer though, and I think we're going to see them put some more stones in play.
And looks like Canada is doing quite well against Scotland in the second. They got some centre guards up. Had a chance to draw around to light 2 in a perfect line. Already have 1 stone in the 1 foot. Came a bit too deep, allowed Scotland to play a hit and roll. Couldn't quite make it, and with Matt Dunstan's first of skip stones, he'll be looking to hit and roll and light 2 in behind cover here on the 4 foot.
And mind you, they also have 1 on the wing, so if he gets rid of this, Canada's going to sit 3. Of course, we will get back to you with what's happening. As in our featured game, third end has just started. Johannes Pats draws to the tee line, and here's the corner guard from Arthur Ali.
Сейчас пойдет линия. Сип! Сип! Вдвоем. Сип! Ligger precis på 10. Хорош.
Är du undan den här eller? Känns för dålig för att garda den här. Halvjämnt. Ja. Har den fart? Kalla.
White 4. White 4.
Kalla.
Nästan 10.
Upp då.
Han är 10.
So Sweden coming around the corner guard here. Really important for them not to be too deep. It's looking like that mistake's already been made.
Ja, här också. En 10-del hård.
Really don't want to have stones toward the corner guard and behind of the tee line when you don't have hammer. Arkhipov asking Ali for a freeze to this back red. As Kyle Smith plays a really nice tap back to set shot. Both skips are in the 1-2 page playoff game with 1 stone remaining of the second end. Scotland now sitting shot. As Arthur Ali is not really getting the right line here, but a lot of stones behind the tee line now.
Eller? Det blir inte bra slår och vicka här heller.
Nej, jag tänkte frysen också. Lägg han på locket.
Frysen.
Ja.
Den här.
Han kan ju inte slå vicka på den sen.
Talking about peeling the corner guard here, but going for the freeze. So Jesper Johansson just looking to put this on the button.
Japp! Japp! Helst inget! Wow! Helst inget! Ligger 10. Japp! Ligger 10. Helst inget! Kör! Hur mycket? Wow, wow, wow! En halvsten. Japp! Ner nu!
You can't quite get there, but looks to sit in a nice spot. Now we're really getting some stones in play here.
Yeah, Arkhipov calling another freeze here.
Yeah, this is a type of call you've seen from Arkhipov in Russia all week. No panic.
No, just working the angles. And while this stone comes down, Kyle Smith has a double to score 2 or maybe even 3 if he gets it perfect. Matt Dunstan tried to tap back the yellow shot stone and actually jammed it, one of his own.
Yeah, left a couple of yellows in there. Yellow Scottish counters. Bit tight on line here. Will he make it? Not quite, but I do believe it's enough for 1. It looked to be a tough shot.
And they're still looking to see whose shot. Yep, 1 yellow, so Scotland scores 1 in the second end against Canada. And it's starting to build up this and really interesting end here as well. Russia sitting 2 at the moment.
Bara bak 12. Ja. Det är svårt att göra en hård på det här.
Spela bakkant!
Se till så att du kan rulla över deras också.
So just want to tap this red, the front red onto the yellow on the tee line, and we'll like to get a little roll to sit on top of the second yellow as well. Just backstring weight.
Wow! Bak 4! Curl upp! 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 Hur långt? Bak 8! Vänta! Ja! Wow, 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 wow!
Bra där.
So maybe not exactly what they're looking for, but so Russia's just going to go for this double here now. Still leave them sitting 1, but perhaps with 3 yellow stones in the forfeit. Dmitry Mironov with big weight here in the third end.
Clearing där. Clearing chapp.
Man spelar en mjuk och chappa. Eller en clearing så. Den här kommer ju frys på den. No?
Spela lite utsida då. Vilka mot den här? Den här kommer ju spinna med. Lite utsida. Vikt dit. Den här
Vill du köra en hård eller?
Ja, det tycker jag. Så vi får den här i rörelse. Vart ska vi ha marginalträff då?
Vi har den så.
Ja, okej. Kör bara en clearing så då. Tjockar typ. Nästan tjockare.
Really want to create some movement here. Gonna throw big weight.
Ja, vi har ju
Там и
både
фрисни
alltså
фактор забьется.
vi kan bita off dubben.
Ну ничего, пускай разбивает. У нас в гард есть корner еще.
Yeah, looking to remove a couple of yellows here.
Yep. Whoa, whoa. Matt, yep. Yep. Yep.
And it's going to do that very nicely.
tid.
Yes, till line. Up.
Bra det där. Bra det att han gör det för oss.
A good result, but that just
Вот у меня сколько было, но я добавил.
shows you that Russia were really good with their angles. Even if Sweden play that shot, they now have a chance to sit two. And remember, they do have the last stone.
Till line.
Yeah, I'm going to be careful where to put it though. Certainly Gustav Eskilsson is on fire with the big weight.
Simlinja. Starlinja. Simlinja.
Oh, a bit tight on line here. Just going to take off the guard
Oh,
and end up in a perfect spot. That's quite cheeky from Glukov.
Не надо было.
Spakar inte på den här.
yep, the man with the golden hair.
Скорее наш один уберет.
Goodbye the sweepers.
Det är samma sten då.
Hur mycket ser vi? Den här blir ju ingen bra. Den sitter väl där.
Nej.
Det är ju vicka på i sådana fall. Hur mycket ser vi?
Det är väl om vi kan ge en trippelläge om vi sätter den. Trycker ut den här för mycket. Han kan smälla
Kör den
tillbaka.
här.
Vilken hit.
Vilken fart då?
Normal.
Okej. Kör så va?
Marginal köp.
Ja.
Normal.
Nej, normalt.
So just a hit here with normal weight control to sit on top of the yellow who's
Леска был супер.
line shot.
8-6. Там не уберешь никак. Если только сильно мы то навряд ли.
Yup. Whoa. Matt. Yup. Yup. Whoa. Yup. Yup. Hold. Yup. Hold. Shot. Whoa.
Well, that was option B. Russia still with shot stone.
Right back line. Семь. Даже 8.
Yeah, but just a nose hit on the red here. It's not going to leave an easy angle for a double.
They're just playing back ring weight though, so would probably like to come in behind the corner guard.
I think he called for backline weight. This is looking a bit heavier, but I think he's going to make the shot very nicely. Gets a wee roll in behind the corner as well.
Yeah, and the double is pretty thin, so question now is, are they just going to play the roll?
Komma här någonstans ändå. Tror det är något sånt där.
Tack. Vicka.
Jag säger lite mer än halva. Typ halvträff. Lite tjockare. Rulla en frys mot den andra. Typ 70 då.
Yup. Whoa. Matt. Whoa. Matt. Yup. Whoa. Rent.
Looking for the perfect roll here.
Whoa. Yup. Hey. Whoa.
Shot.
And very good try, just rolled a lot further than they thought it would, and looks like Russia is still line one.
Ну, если мы делаем легкий тэп, у нас один лучше, тем более, стоит. Можно вообще фриз вести. Нам надо за чем-то завязаться просто. Просто если он чуть-чуть вот так отыграется, это хреново будет. Если мы просто фриз поставим, даже косой немножко, он же не разбивается. Он может у вас вот так стоять косой, закрывать же все. Чего все? Наш, чтобы не выбили. А? Чтобы наш не выбили. Если мы такой можем сыграть, он за наш полезет. Давайте вот так сделаем. Надо шутер оставить, я не знаю сейчас четко из центра.
А на T-line ты знаешь счет? Ну давайте, давай фриз.
Фриз, да.
Gonna try and get a good freeze onto the top red here. This needs to be absolutely perfect.
I like this call though. So make it. Should be scoring 2.
Yes! Whoa, 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 whoa. Sip, linje yes. Sip, sip, sip.
This one's just over curling. Doesn't have the weight either.
I think we've seen this particular spot over curl a bunch of times on this sheet. Also quite short though.
Yeah, just a different track, I think. Maybe not as keen as the 1-foot draw path.
Marginalvika av varandra.
Marginalvika av. Annars rullar det så långt ni bara kan. Japp, japp, japp.
Rent.
Rent. Wow. Rent.
Wow.
Upp lite.
Upp, upp.
Rent, 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 rent.
So Patrick Mavers will just pick at the yellow, and Sweden now sitting 2. Quite the turnaround in this end. Arkhipov now needs full forfeit to score as 1. As the third end was blanked by Scotland and Canada. Last stone of the third end. Evgeny Arkhipov needs full forfeit to score 1.
Sip, sip. Control yes. Control yes.
And looks like they're in full control here. Glukov will just follow this down, and they will sit for 1 to tie the game at 1 each.
And the game between Scotland and Canada, the 1-2 page, they blanked the third end. It just looked like Cami came out the hack and then stopped before the tee line, which I think is allowed.
Yeah, it was just still sitting in the slide position, holding the stone.
Just looking over, there's Cami posing with a stone.
Maybe
the back
he
of the
just
house.
started a bit too early.
Oh yeah, maybe that was the thing. There's
Umpires
always
told him to stop.
yeah, 1 minute between every end, and usually you're not allowed to start throwing your stone before it's about 10 seconds left on the clock. So you see it there on the scoreboard. It says break. We're at 5 seconds now, so Artrali can start. Obviously, if you start 10 seconds early, the clock will start to run when you cross the T line, I think, back line, T line.
One of the lines.
Good start to the game so far for Artrali. This one, though, will be a bit too long, I think. But with a very nice line. And Canada threw up the corner guard in the fourth end here. Playing Scotland, they're 1 point down, looking to score their 2. Johannes Pats. on our sheet, however, at 88%.
Curl up! Curl up!
Just looking to draw around here. Would like to keep this stone quite high in the house, especially since the guard is really high. One reason to keep it high is you leave yourself a little bit more room if your opponent wants to come down and freeze. And also when the guard's really high, it's just too easy to come around. So much swing on these on this ice. So this one is open, but Arkhipov still calling a freeze. So good weight from Arthur Lee, but with both stones being open, Sweden can definitely get to the inside and just going to play backstring weight and change it to T weight. Push the yellow out in the open and find some cover for both of the red.
Давай. Или хотя бы один можно дать.
Jag sa ju 10 så.
Славый тейк.
Mironov would like to get a double on the reds here. Catch it a bit too thin. So with a good roll in behind the guard here, Sweden could sit two.
Ben, backside. Whoa, side.
Yep. Go. Patrik, allt
Won't really roll far enough, and I think the double is probably even easier now.
Колодочный вес. Колодка. Уберем два из дома. Давай слабый. Слабый тейк.
So I think Arkhipov called a hack weight first. And certainly a hack weight wouldn't necessarily remove both reds. And you don't want to allow Sweden to have too many stones in the house when they have last stone. So I think they've just upped the weight a wee bit here with Mironov. It's going to catch a bit too high though and leave a red.
Sweden sitting one, so just playing the draw here to sit two and get some easier stone placement.
Curl up! Bite 4. Bara fort!
Helt full 4.
Bara fort! Upp då!
So a bit deep. We'll leave a double, but I'm not sure if Arkipov's going to play it. No, he's going to play the freeze. Sergei Glukov. 92%. Is very close to a miss in the previous end. But he tacked off the guard and played a perfect freeze. I guess that's a 100% shot.
Well, if the result is 100%, then stats won't really care how you get them.
Vilken fart! Har vi dubbeln här?
Det är ändå skott. Ja, vi råder att göra det ändå.
Ja, är det så tycker jag den här.
Ja, den är svår. Jag menar, spelar du så och rullar av.
Ja, det är inte bra.
Så, då limmar jag handen här. Och du
Har vi den? Tror du vi har den här eller? En clearing här. Men ligger vi bra efter dig?
Nej, han spelar bara till.
Nästan, vi måste flytta på den här.
Eller bara snedfrysa den här. Det är ju skottet. Han har ju inte råd att gå på den här.
Ja, vi har ju den gul sen. Ja, klar prisen.
Jag tycker den är bra, ja.
So just looking to get the angle freeze here. Sweden lying shot at the moment.
Ja. Vi har ju dubbeln där ute.
Also thinking that in off the wide yellow is going to be a good option for them later on.
Känns isen bra där?
Perfect numbers for Gustav Eskilsson so far in the game. Just want to corner freeze this yellow. Can't bounce off it.
Oh, and really hanging wide.
This is no good. Comes past the yellow. I think you might just see Archipov play a little tap on his own yellow again.
Женя, если с этой же стороны тэп сделать, можем под дабл подставиться. А так тоже можно под дабл поставиться. Можем свой вытолкнуть, вообще плохо будет. Если вот так вот пойдет. Так еще больше по двойной можешь поставить. Как? Вот если так. Ну, если ты хреново приводишь. Ну да, согласен. Здесь-то тэп можно сделать такой же. Два красных, так? Может так? Либо ролл, ну, либо избавляться ролл делать. Вообще, я думаю, тэп. Ну, смотри, ну мне вот отсюда не особо нравится. Повтор! Повтор!
I think I like the tap, but you got to make sure to bring it all the way into the pocket. You want to cover the pin completely, or there might just be the in off for Sweden. Then turn freeze isn't a bad choice either. Could just play the double, and that's what they're looking at now. I wanted a freeze, Sarah, or tap.
Why would you have preferred the freeze?
Just because it's more interesting to watch.
Yeah, well, Glukov is not going to care about what you find interesting. Sweden with hammer, they don't really want to leave them sitting too. Looking for the double here.
Yeah, just running a bit scared here, I think. You want to give up a big end. They'll certainly allow Sweden to sit two now. Just, I think, just play the hit and roll to split the rings. Well, you can't see too much of it, so Might not be too easy, but I think he'll be able to move the yellow to the 12 foot at least and roll away. Just a backline weight, just through the house weight.
Yep, and even if you're gonna miss this, you might want to miss it towards the guard and just open this up. At least make sure that you have a chance to score with your last. Although, of course, this is still Gustav playing. Oh, it looks like they put a bit more weight on this than they talked about.
Yeah, this is a bumper weight. What's the problem?
Too much weight.
What happens then?
Well, it won't curl as much as it will if you have less weight. For example, we see draws curling a lot more than when you play a hit. So just a bit too much weight there from Gustav and it'll just go straight.
Yeah, especially on this ice surface, really straighten up. It will straighten up if you play too heavy. It's really straight for the takeouts. Big swing with the draws, and that's certainly what I like to play on. It's weight sensitive, you might say.
Я тоже думаю, лучше камень убрать. Тут двойной просто стоит. Я тоже так думаю. Здесь как хочешь убери, может даже так стейм убрать.
I wonder if they called the draw first here and now reconsidering their options. Maybe playing the hit on the red.
Yeah, would need to roll out a little bit there though, not to leave Patrick with a too easy double. Scott on the other sheet. Scotland is currently sitting 4 before Matt Dunstone's final shot. Looks like he has an open nose hit to score 1.
It's not that open, I think. Maybe I'll probably see most. We'll see most of the stone. Just a back ring tap maybe for the one over there. Looking at the ice anyway. Hack weight.
And it will be a nose hit from Arkhipov.
Kör ni inifrån eller? Ja, ska vi inte göra det?
And while waiting for Patrick to slide out, I can tell you that Canada scored 1. Here you see it. Looking for the double.
Oh, that's a very nice shot. Wanted to catch a bit thicker, maybe get the roll up underneath the center guard as well, but
Still did the most important thing and got both of them. Might be an opportunity for Russia to get a little roll in here, but it's definitely a lot more difficult, and if they ever roll out, it'll be a lot easier for Sweden to score their 1.
on sheet C, looks like Matt Dunstan was able to play his shot for 1, so 1 each there after 4 ends. We're on sheet B though, and it's Arkhipov with the takeout here to maybe lie 2. Pretty good shot, and that's going to force Patrick Malbäcks to play the draw for 1.
Lite mer is än Jesper hade på simma. Ja.
Arkhipov needed to draw the 4-foot for 1 in the 3rd, and Patrick is now left with the same shot in the 4th. That's definitely a good sign of the fact that we have a very close game going on.
Lite tight. Bra. Japp. Bara fart.
Bara fart. Wow, lägga mot 10 grabbar.
Bara fart. Bra linje.
Lägga mot 10.
Bra linje.
Lägga mot locket. Locket. Locket grabbar, locket.
Bara fart. Bara fart.
Locket.
Bra.
Gjorde det.
Kommer upp.
Score after 4 ends, it's Sweden 2, Russia 1. Russia will have a hammer in the final end before the half-game break.
Det är ju bättre om den är full 8 än att den är nere på 10. Ja.
So I think the Swedes were just looking for a bit more communication, maybe. Lite mer snack.
Exactly. Could definitely have helped them on Gustav's shot that was too heavy there. If Patrick would have known it, they might have been able to do something different with it.
Yeah, just looking to up their weight call, maybe.
Byt. Nej. Bra linje. Här. Kör.
That's a nice start for Sweden. Arkhipov calls the corner guard.
Только вес, только вес. Линия норма, линия норма.
86 hade jag.
Sip. Sip. Sip.
Samma. Byta hand eller? Är den tight på garden eller?
Vänta länge på honom. Veksläpp.
Ta det lugnt, ta det lugnt. Bara fart. Lägga nära, lägga nära.
Korta streck, Åke.
Sitt, sitt, sitt. Kom med. Kom med.
So really good line on the guard there by Johannes Pats.
Sätt fot upp.
With that corner guard actually being so tight to the center line, there's no way that Russia could play the freeze on the intern side, which of course is good for Sweden. They want to keep the play away from the corner guard. And Arthur Ali now play the freeze with his out turn instead.
Runda eller garden?
Что говоришь, ты сильнее? Второй гол.
Han måste ju ner och dutta på den.
Спасибо.
Rent. Gå. Rent. Ja. Ja, bra.
Corner guard comes off. And Arkhipov just thinking about what angles are going to be good for him here.
Да, только в другую сторону, Жень.
Не, надо через эту играть. Если просто что, вот так вот будет. А через эту клетку.
А можно попробовать?
Главный тейк.
So just going to play the hit and roll on the centre guard to keep it open in the middle, be able to reach those stones in the house and also get the corner guard back. Leave a centre guard, get some separation on the stones in the middle of the house, but Sweden can now sit too if they play the hit on this.
Just saw Colton Lott for Team Canada play a hit and roll to the wing. They've been able to split the house here in line 2. But Sweden won't be able to do the same. Jesper Johansson will roll out, and Arkhipov has called hit and roll from Mironov, the Russian second player. Just going to curl a bit too much and roll to the open. Very close. Quite important, these rolls.
Yeah, definitely. We all pretty much always see the team that gets the first roll perfect will just really get a lot of pressure on the other team. And so important to talk about the weights there as well. Seemed like Arkhipov got the hit that he was looking for, but just rolled too far. So maybe just miscommunications from the sweepers there as well.
Certainly a shot you need to practice a lot. The teams that play the hit and rolls well are often the teams that will win games. Eskilsson is going to over curl, catch the guard, not too bad, but will allow Russia to split the rings here. Be nice to keep that center guard. The upside is the upside for Sweden is that the Yellowstone's pretty much on the center line, so they won't get too much separation. Might just leave a double for them. And I've seen Gustav Eskilsson play a double or two before.
Certainly has made a ton of them this week.
Ja, du kan ju köra så här. Eller tjejen ifrån där. Tänkte du vilja lira så här? Nej.
Johannes.
So can't quite roll towards the yellow. And Gluko with a good chance to get some separation now.
Alldeles för mycket is. Lär ju ta på träff på outen i alla fall. För den kommer att hålla. Isen. Som att han har kraft i början.
Жестче завес ты, Сереж.
Nu löper vi av en. Nej, en bra övertag. Det är viktigt.
Я сорвал уже!
So can't quite make the roll.
So with that angle, a double is now a lot easier.
Halv, tjock halv.
It looks like Kyle Smith is forced to draw here, facing two Canadian stones. Looks like he needs about full 8 foot for the score. While Patrick Malberg's looking for the double. It's going to be quite thin, and it's going to roll beneath it.
Oh, and now Russia don't even need to draw the wing to hit and roll to get the separation. They can just play the drop, which of course is a lot easier.
And Kyle Smith will get a wee applause from the crowd. Draws the 4 foot easily, and it's a 2 shots to 1 lead for Scotland after 5 ends. It's a 2 shots to 1 lead here for Sweden in our game. Still a couple of stones left in this 5th end. Arkhipov just again looking to split the rings here. Want to keep a level line of these yellows. And if you can make that happen, I think the score of 2 is pretty much secured. Do not want to leave a double here. And he won't. Good shot by Arkhipov.
Yeah, so Sweden just kind of hit and roll on this. Hope to roll far enough to make it difficult for Russia to score 2. Want to get at least a piece of the 8 foot. I would like to sit buried behind the other yellow. Quite a difficult shot here for Patrick Malbergs.
Whoa. Nej. Nej. Nej.
Nej! Ingenting. Allt som går, allt som går.
С этой. С какой тебе удобно?
Да, давай с этой, потому что здесь...
Fronten.
0.
Is that one of those shots where you prefer them to roll too far?
Well, maybe it'll mean that you really went for the roll. But when it's your last shot, you just need to make it perfect. And that was whoa right out of his hand. So maybe he was just, you know, wanting to be sure that you stick around, which of course will make Arkhipov play the hit rather than the draw.
Yeah, but again, at this level, I think you expect Arkhipov to make a nose hit. And he certainly will. Pick up 2. And it's a 3 shots to 2 lead after 5 ends. Gustav Eskilsson not looking too happy. He's slamming his brush on the ice here.
Yep. So we have half-time here in the Ice Cube Curling Center. Score is Russia 3, Sweden 2, as you see the scoreboard there. Players will have a 5-minute break to have a little talk with their coach and get some new energy. We will be taking a short break as well, and we will be back with highlights from the first 5 ends. Stay tuned.
Vi säger när vi fryser på där nere, de får ju panik till slut. De måste ju emellan. De vill ju ligga skott till varje steg. Det syns ju direkt.
So let's take a look at some of the highlights here. First end was blanked, then Arkhipov was looking for the same in the second. But there was a guard in play and just going to feather off it, not being able to remove the red, and it's a steal one for Sweden.
Third end, Sweden was able to just pick off Russian shot stone, so Arkhipov here needs to draw the forfeit to score 1. Sweepers in full control of this one. It will just sit on the tee line, and score is now 1 each.
Patrick Malberg's played a double with his first, but Arkhipov played a nose hit to sit 2 before his final draw. Needs the forfeit to score and makes it look easy for a single.
And finally in the 5th end, Russia managed to split the rings and set 2. Sweden never got the double or the rolling behind, so just a nose hit here for Arkhipov and a score of 2 for Russia. And you see the score there. Russia with a 3-point lead to 2, so with a 1-point lead. As we start off the 6th end, Arthur Ali lead for the Russian team.
Серега, Серега, если только, Серега. Серега вес. Сережа.
They are putting up a centre guard. I think Russia is the team that's most likely to put up the centre guard out of pretty much all of the teams here. Would you agree, Sander?
Yeah, I've seen them put up the centre guard more or less every end. They don't have hammer. And certainly didn't see that too many times from other teams. So I think you're right. They like to put the centre up.
Yeah, even when they are ahead in the game. Just feeling like offense is probably their strongest side.
Yeah, I just want to make it difficult for their opponents. Obviously that centre guard, it's going to help you a lot. If Sweden gets the corner guard in play, it's not going to end up in a very nice spot.
No, it just means that they can't play the draw and the outturn there.
Yeah, and you'll have to play the outturn to come around it, really tight to the centre. Although usable, just not in the perfect spot for them. RUS-SWE has been asked to play the in-turn draw here. Supers are backing off it. And now just trying to get some curl here in behind the centre. Good weight, just too big of a line. I guess this is what the Russians want.
Sweden to play freezes.
Yeah, to play along the centre line, keep it tight. They like the 4-foot play, the Russians.
Bara fart! Skala upp! Försök träffa lite insida. Skala upp! Den duttar lite. Upp då. Spikra. Upp. Jag emot.
Сейчас надо не ссать и играть. Как можно ingen båge på den där precis.
Nej.
Quite a nice play there from Johannes Pat. Pretty much finds the nose of the yellow. Russia still sitting shot though.
Samma som dig.
9-5. Fris! Fris!
Det är inte mycket is.
They are gonna freeze it right back. This is curling more though.
Этот клюв.
Den får knacka egen rakt.
Är det bara runda? Topp 8.
Ja, jag gillar den. Vi kommer ju alltid ha den där viktstenen där ute. Den fula. Om inte de hittar det.
Nej.
Nej.
So just looking to come down and tap their own here. Really like to sit two on top of the yellow.
Bara fort!
Making it difficult for Russia to remove them, giving them an opportunity to maybe score two.
Fort! Go!
4 bak 8.
Japp! Ja, kör!
Det går ju spikrakt. Eller? Det är ju ingen böj på dem på slutet.
Если не доводится, можно вот так сыграть. 4 фута!
Minska lite då.
Alltså Johannes den kallar ju så här. Johannes den kallar ju typ så här mycket.
Ja, tonen.
Четыре фута!
Довес!
Тилай! Ти-плюс! 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 Ти-плюс!
Во, Артур! Хорош!
Deras som de la dit nu kommer ligga helt öppen.
Dämpad!
Alltså den som de la dit nu kommer de bara kunna tappa ner.
Halvträff typ! Ja, nej dämp! Kör, okej, normal.
Он сам сейчас оно все сделает.
Vad gör de då?
Хочет свой красный туда поиграть.
Kom in skottet!
Ja.
Normal.
Just a normal take it here. Want to roll in off the yellow and push the other one back in. Sit for second
Japp!
and third shot,
Fort!
but in behind the guards.
Ja! Kör! Wow, wow, wow.
Pushes it a bit too far though, actually. Hits the red one first.
De får ju så lätta uppgifter, men man kanske sätter den med tappning.
Vi sätter ju inga rundningar.
Но это не очень мне нравится.
Давай ударим, давай
Den är
ударим.
hård Jespers också.
Так,
Den
Ну
är
а
ju
что, если так
topp
хорошо
4 hans
будет?
första.
Slabbt
Han
ägg.
rundar den topp 8. Gör de knacken eller?
So with a good hit and roll here from Glukov. It's going to start to look a bit messy for the Swedes.
wow!
This one hanging wide so far.
Med en sopa. Deras.
Не, ну это жопа.
And now Sweden line shot. 2 yellows in front of it though.
Tillbaka.
Нормально, кстати. Но ты его скидываешь туда.
Bara vicka över.
Ja, vicka på den där.
So I'd like to remove one and roll to sit overlapped with the other one. That way there won't be a run for Russia.
Sarg.
Så. Vicka över bara.
Vicka upp på deras. Sarg. Vicka en sten ut bara.
Ты скинул сюда. Ну что, да. Ну фиг. Нормально.
Oh.
Ну что-то сиф сразу взяли.
Nej! Upp!
Nästan kört den lite.
Повтор.
It'll be the opposite instead, and now definitely a double available for Russia.
Слабый тейк.
Говорит, скинул, но счет поставил.
Du måste ha, alltså det är typ... Den backar ju typ den här.
Воу!
Слабый тейк!
Воу!
Jag gjorde.
И не очень широко.
Может двойной сделаем тогда уже?
Дима! Дима!
Oh, so it's just going to jam it here, Glukov. Sweden will sit one.
Samma sten igen typ.
Ja, du kan ju gå ner till baksidan.
Отваливай, ты чё?
Ja, eller bara
Вообще,
spela
который
den
вообще
sådär
легко
typ.
отпускает.
Som sarg.
Не так
Chapman är väl-
отпускает.
Okej.
До этого это
De har ju ingen insida. Vi kan ju nästan få lite insida.
Ja.
Bara hack.
Lite mjukare för den.
Ja.
Vi kan ju hålla den bra. Det är ju inget...
Lite mjukare. Hack.
So bringing the weight down
Typ
here.
en halv sten.
Вот это отваливает вообще.
Den inre av dem.
Hack!
Ja.
Want to get to the yellow one that you could just see in the middle there.
Yeah, and then maybe just roll an inch
Воу!
either way.
Med, japp! Wow! Wow, wow, wow! Med, japp! Japp! Hårt!
And the spot
Kör, kör, kör!
seems to curl a bit more.
Vicka, vicka, vicka!
Bra!
And they will get the little roll
Yeah, really
towards the
nice
yellow.
shot.
Lite
gatan.
A really good shot there from Gustav, as Russia can't really run their yellow. So gonna need to play a difficult double here instead.
Так или пошире, Жень? Оставляй. Ай?
Vill han den hamnen?
Слабый. Да, ропот, да.
So Arkhipov with his first shot of the sixth end.
Certainly going to spill a few stones here and there. Sweden lies 2 now.
And over on the other sheet, Canada just with a big score of 3. Matt Dunstan actually had a board weight nose hit to score 3 after Kyle Smith didn't really curl enough with his last draw. He was trying to freeze onto a pocket. Canada in the lead now with 4 shots to 2 after 6 ends.
Vad tror ni om isen? Det kan ju sticka. Alltså den andra stack, den här gick ju rakt hela vägen.
Jag tror du kan ha där. Du hade. Kloss mot våran.
And Sweden looking pretty good here. Just want to come around their own guard and freeze onto their red one that you see on your right hand side of your screen right there. Looking good to score at least a couple.
Bara fort! Curl up! Curl up! Curl up! Curl up! Helt upp! Upp! Här! Här då! Så långt bak det går.
Looking to take this deep instead, since they're not really getting the line.
Sitta full 8. Kör!
Needful 8 foot to set 3.
Jag tappar helt köl. Det är ju ingen köl alls.
Nej.
Den var 0,5.
Двойной не стоит. Двойной не стоит.
Det känns som att det ska vara bra fart.
Ja, han sa 0,4. Не узко, Жень. Это не узко. Вот так.
Men
Если что,
ja,
на нижний.
det satte ju på
Чуть-чуть
bra fart på träningen.
Ну нормально
Det
вот
var
так.
ju lite långare än den här i och för sig.
Ай? Нет, два не стоит. Так не стоит.
Можно вот так, Жень. Один низкий.
So calling the freeze, but don't you think that's possible to maybe play a double here off the left red? Maybe not even have to remove the second red, just push it out to the 12 foot, and then you set shot and third.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to risk giving up a 3 or a 4 here. Russia, one point lead at the moment. If they lose 2, it's definitely okay, and it looks like Arkhipov
Двойной, что ли?
could read your mind there.
Сильным тейком.
Even can even roll here and make it difficult for Sweden.
Ну давай.
I mean, even if you make the perfect freeze, I think there's still going to be a shot for maybe 3. Run back. Even if you give up 3 here, isn't the end of the game, but 4 would certainly be tough on them. So they have called a hit of some sort.
So take out here for Arkhipov.
So plays it very nicely, a hit and roll.
Yep, finds quite a good position there, but definitely possible for Sweden to push it back to score their deuce or maybe even 3.
Good thing he didn't move that red too far.
Certainly makes the gap closer.
I'm not sure if it's there. It might just be, but it's more or less the same shot here for 2 or 3. So they've been saying that the ice is pretty straight in this spot. Hopefully Patrick Malbags has learned.
Seem to be giving that quite a push at the end. Last stone of the 6th end.
This one is not curling.
And actually a steal of 1 for Russia after Sweden had a chance to take 3. They will now lead the game 4 shots to 2 after 6 ends.
So I heard the Swedish guys just you know, saying that the ice is pretty straight for a while now. I just think
they just need to adapt.
Yeah, don't complain too much about it. It's not, you know, nothing you can do. Just have to adjust the ice. That was the problem with that shot, just too much ice, probably.
Yeah, it also seemed like he kind of gave that a little bit of a pop at the end, and when you know that the ice and the path that you're playing down is really straight, you need to be really careful with your release.
Контроль вес 4 фута. 4 обязательно. Det är det jag tycker. Добавил. Det är jävligt. Då 4, slip 4, slip 4. Sip. Ja, men det är väl inte, alltså, sip. Med tanke på hur den låg. Sip. Da. Guard. Kom in.
So Johannes Pats is having a very good game. Would like his corner guard to curl a bit more than they have in previous ends, though. Maybe it'd be nice to have them a bit wider. Just create some more room. Sweden really need to score 2 now.
Контроль вес, пока линии много. Линии много. Серега первый. Серега первый. Сережа. Jag menar, hade vi kunnat komma över linan, då hade det varit. Серега. Свип для линии, свип для линии. Свип! Да, Сита! Давай! Да, еще!
Why would you rather have seen that center guard over curl?
I was just going to ask you the same question.
Beat ya.
Now, this way you'll allow Sweden to either play the hit and roll or the freeze, as they've called, on the side towards the corner guard. I mean,
Bara fart!
Wow, den är lång bak 8.
which means that Sweden can probably play a hit on that and then roll towards the corner. Basically just dragging all the play towards their corner guard.
Så tjock som möjligt. Den är 10.
Finds a nice spot.
А Саня думает иначе. Ну вот фиг знает. Если не страшно будет, я думаю, если гард будет.
Dmitry Mironov really like to get to center or find the inside of the red one just played by Johannes Pats. Create good angles for them. But this one seems to be hanging really wide.
Hur ser frysen ut där? Ja, den eller drar dit själv.
Den är svår. Det är lätt att fastna där genom den.
Han har fryst den här bak.
Det blir så lite plats bara.
Den på 10 här då. Utsidan. Kan vi komma ner frys på den? Insidan.
Ja, missar vi lite ryker det ju. Ja, vi kör den här ändå.
Jag tycker den är bra, ja. Men vi krymper det ganska mycket för den.
So looking for the inside freeze here. Jesper Johansson is the man to play the shot. He's been doing quite well so far at 88% after 6 ends.
Ja! Fort!
Sweeping this for line, and it's going to be a bit short as well.
Whoa.
Really overcurling here.
Will guard their red, but creates quite the mess.
Можно вскрыть, попробуй. Мы откроем все. Если хорошо попасть тут сюда. Нас плохо, они будут к этому вязаться, нам надо раскрыть все. Что-то
Просто мы сами ставим гард и сами его потом снимаем.
Мы снимаем кучу гардов.
Я не вижу логики. Блин, мы сами ставим гард, а потом сами его снимаем.
So if you're wondering why we're showing the 3-4 page and not the 1-2, the reason is that we'll be able to see Scotland and Canada again for sure, either in the semi and or final, while the loser of this game will go to the bronze final, and that will be played at the same time as the gold medal final, and we won't be able to see them.
Va? Vågar vi det, säger jag? Nej.
You might just be able to see Scotland and Canada again, though, in the final. You never know.
You never know. Of course, the loser of that game will play the winner of this game for a second chance to make the final. As we see a wave going on here, the Canadian girls are really making an effort to support their boys.
Yeah, that would be alternate Kathy Award running up and down there, trying to pump up the crowd. Scotland scored 2 in the 7th, so it's all tied up at 4 each between Canada and Scotland in the 1-2 page.
And Sweden need to stick around with this one, and it'll just roll too far.
Frustration getting to Jesper Johansson here. 2 per shots on this end.
Да, вот так можно сыграть. Агар снимаешь тоже не нужно. Ну да, можно.
Gör inte mycket nu. Som sist nu i framåt.
Фриз! Это было закрыто.
Фриз!
Стив!
Линия!
Стив!
Линия!
Стив, линия!
Линия!
Линия есть.
Вес есть. Есть вес.
Ничего нет. Ничего нет.
Можно вес.
So Glukov coming down with a freeze here. It's looking very good. Sits on top of the red.
Han kommer ju säkert spela hela gadd sen.
Ja, men vi kommer ju ha skjutningar.
And Sweden just want to come down and freeze into the
Такая же ситуация была.
Jesper ska
other
lägga för
yellow.
mycket där.
Такая же ситуация вчера была. Почти такая же.
Har du vek på din eller?
Frys där!
För den curlar ju.
Блин, ну вчера тоже вот надо было фриз свести, помните?
Ja, så gör den här ligger ganska bra.
А так мы их не заставим взять один? Ты должен убрать.
Ja, men de får ju kvar sin framkant då. De kan knacka ner. Jag tycker den här.
Lite till.
Just making sure that every player on the team is agreeing on the call.
Я не знаю, какой вам надо фриз привести, чтобы был лучше.
Japp! Wow!
Wow, wow, wow!
Bara fort!
Gärna byt! Gärna byt! Japp, japp, japp! Wow, 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 wow!
Kör upp!
Wow, 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 wow! Bara frys nu grabbar, helt eran, helt eran. Nej, jag måste kalla massor. Satan.
And some good weight from Gustav there. Find the outside, but not really the exact freeze that they were looking for.
Наш лучше, Жень!
Да, один!
Vem ska du kalla med? Slutet. Den var lite lugn. Eller vem duttar?
Va?
Den duttar.
Ja, ja.
90.
Wow!
90.
So let's see if Glukov can find the inside as well.
Wow, linje, wow,
Seems like the Swedish boys maybe need to
helt linje.
start working on their communication a little bit to just give themselves some more energy and try and enjoy this game a little bit more, like they have been talking about. Very focused on what the problems are now rather than what the solutions are.
Så. Alltså att vi spelar typ plus så.
Although a
Ta ut den här hit.
little window maybe coming up there with Glukov being wide on that freeze.
Men om vi sätter den här så. Bakom garden så. Och den här sitter här också. Då får jag vara bort den här.
Alltså om vi vickar mot då? Alltså att du säger att du får med den här, det får du.
Ja.
Bara vicka dit då.
Kör en plus eller?
Plus. Jag tror att du
Eller normal räcker va?
Ja, spela normal. Jag tror att ta typ så här.
Ja. Normal. Bara vicka lite inåt.
So just looking for the hit and roll here.
Med den i bakkant då.
Should be able to lie 3. Just gonna
Vi vill trycka ut den i bakkant så vi tål den typ.
hit the yellow on the inside here and maybe click off their own red, which will then remove the shot stone.
Lite mer då.
Det är lite is i den.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, back. Whoa. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa.
Curla då.
So it won't get the inside.
Oh, but important thing was to stick around with your shooter here. We'll at least do that.
Я оставляем наш здесь? Да. Если получится, то хорошо. Ну давай. Сильно?
But how many will Russia be able to remove? Can you get all three of them?
Yeah, I think so. Question is if the guard might be in the way of that shot, Sarah. I'm not sure.
Вот этот лучше. Вот этот лучше чего?
Double is certainly on, and after you make contact with that redstone in the top of the 8, you might just redirect onto the shot stone. Bang, bang, bang.
Yep, and while we are thinking about that, Scotland managed to pick up a deuce in the 7th end to tie the game, 4 shots each.
I think I've said that already.
Sorry.
But we are going to try and keep you up to date with the 1-2 page as well. Remember, winner of that game will go to the gold final. The loser will play the winner of our game.
Oh, tried to get the double the other way instead, but we'll just drive it by.
Inte hamna här bara. Nej. Eller att du knackar den här då. Ja, eller hur? Så länge vi har linjen. Alltså knackar vi den här rakt så. Dit, sätter han den. Då är det att dra. Ja, ja. Ja, så.
Så att de knackar den.
Frys!
Jag tycker bara dutta, då har han ingen slash heller. Då kan han bara slasha bort en. Dutta ner den bak 4. Vad ska han göra då? Lite insida. Du får inte komma upp så att du kommer så. Ja, men trycker vi den här rakt, missar han den. Kom lite insida.
Alltså här är ju... Stannar vi här har han ju inte bort alla heller.
Precis.
Just need to make sure that there's no way for Russia to remove all of the reds after this one.
Vart hade du?
When it come down and freeze on the nose.
Nej, mindre. Ta lite mindre. Frys, eller så duttar vi den så att vi duttar den bak 4. Den ligger på topp 4 nu. Ska vi dutta någonting ska vi dutta den bak 4. Annars fryser den helt, då slashar han bara. Då kan det vara så. Så helst fryser vi ska den vara lite insida.
So communicating well here with the sweepers, just letting them know where you want Stone to end up.
Bara fort!
Köla!
Also discussing
Köla!
the option B.
Köla!
If he doesn't get the freeze, he'll like to maybe tap it. It's just looking big for line here.
Japp! Ja, kör! Måste dutta! Hårt! Kör!
Well, doesn't quite get to the face of it.
Looks like Russia could get rid of at least a couple here.
Можно просто ролл ловить вот так.
Och så, jag är ingen aktiv på det.
Надо гордо облизывать вообще. Даже не облизывать. Даже если не оближешь, вот так сделаешь, все, пускай 20. Чтобы так хотя бы сделать, надо облизать. Что делать? Скажи, что делать.
Världens luggar och lögn.
Минут 2 идет. Или можно привозить вот сюда. Да можно ролл просто туда вот так ловить. А? Ролл просто ловить вот так. Ролл, понимаешь, ты тыкаешься в гард и минус 4. Да это шус. Я тоже про это. Средний.
So looking at a couple of options here. You could maybe slash double. It's got to catch the high side. leave a draw for 2. You can hit and roll and try and lie second. Well, you can't see too much of it. What's the call here? Hit and roll?
Hit and roll to try and sit for second shot, making it, well, at least more difficult for Sweden to score 2, and definitely making sure that they can't score 3.
So
This one's really wide though.
Yeah, you might just get a double instead here. And he will.
So a good option B there for Arkhipov.
Här när vi har lagt Johannes, eller har jag haft här. Kan vi ta här nu?
Ja. White 4.
And Patrick Marvers will at least have a draw for 2 to tie the game at 4 each.
Mitt på 10. Bra linje.
Mitt på 10 grabbar.
Bra linje. Bara fart.
Kolla upp Johan.
Bara fart.
Japp.
And they're really working hard on this now. Starting to curl. Last one of the 7th end.
Tryck Jesper, tryck.
Sweden needs a good draw here for 2, and looks like they got it. Score of 2 for Sweden.
Yeah, much appreciated by the Swedish fans up there.
Yeah, we see the Swedish women's team there. They lost a tiebreaker to Russia this morning, so they won't make playoffs, but still a good finish. They were 0-4 at the start, so they were quite happy. See the score there? After 7 ends, it's 4 each.
Säkert framför. Ja.
Så alla kan göra de 3 bästa. Kör det.
Just saw a really good shot by Thomas Muirhead here to lie 2. Canada has 3rd shot. And hammer in the
22 eller?
8th end.
Vi kommer ju aldrig kunna runda här ändå.
Jag tror inte det.
So 4 each on both sheets here. 2 tight games.
92.
Just as we expected.
Bra linje.
And of course it's the playoffs, so that's usually what you get.
Patrik.
Some good curling and some tight games.
Patrik.
So we will also start the 8th end here
Hela vägen, kör.
in our 3-4 page playoff game between Sweden and Russia. Sweden will now it'll be Sweden to start off with a center guard.
Лучше 0, лучше 0. Лучше 0. Сип. Не разведем, но толкнем.
Arkhipov,
Сип. Сип.
Arthur Ali over curling.
Detta vi ut den här lite.
And that's not a very good option B.
Well, it's really the worst shot you can probably have when you're a lead. When you have second stone and you just start off by getting 2 overlapped guards, your opponent can draw a good one in there, and then you're definitely left
Japp.
chasing.
Linje. Ja! Bara fort. Japp. Bara fort.
White 4. Nej, full 4.
Kör om du kan.
Kör.
Japp.
Very nice draw there by Johannes Batz. see the skips, they are taking
Линия пока много.
a little less ice on the draws than maybe yesterday.
Очень много.
And the rest of the week, it's been a bit back and forth.
Yeah, well, we have seen a couple of draws, just not really curling, so maybe the ice is a bit straighter here today. And that really didn't curl enough. Gets a bounce and rolls open.
Yeah, well, we're still looking at maybe 4 feet of curl though, so should be plenty for the teams to get some stones and cover.
Bara fort! Bara fort!
Don't like to freeze this right back.
Japp! Helst inget!
Bara fort! Bara fort! Ner mot nu! Hela vägen, kör! Kör!
So it's going to pull up a bit short, but we'll get a good line on that. Well, just saw Matt Dunstan play Hit Delight too.
Whoa. Whoa.
Big weight from Mironov. Will actually catch both reds. Not sure if that was intended, but that's what we would call a really good option B.
Really, really good option B, actually. What could have been a bit of a miss ends up clearing the house of red stones.
What could have been a miss ended up with bliss.
So smart.
Feeling very poetic today.
Well, playoffs is the time to be poetic. Sweden looking for a roll here. And
no rosy poem for Jesper Johansson.
nope.
It's a big miss, over curls it.
Сколько? 6, 8, что не знаю.
That certainly turned the end around.
Yeah,
Triple by
definitely.
Mironov, sorry.
No, sorry, yes, as you said, tripled by Mironov and then a complete miss from Sweden.
Линии совсем нет.
Sweden looking really good, and now all of a sudden Russia with a chance to sit 2 here.
I just saw Kyle Smith make a really nice hit and roll
Нет, это начало 4.
beneath that long corner guard. Matt tried to come around it and tap the Scottish stone back for 2. He caught the guard. Not sure if that was a pick or just playing a miss from the Canadian skip.
Правильно? Вот.
Either way, Scotland steals 1 in the 8th end.
Yeah, good end to steal as well. 1 point up. Might try and force the Canadians to take their 1 in 9th. Have Hammer coming back in 10th. We're in the 8th end here as well. On the 3-4 page. It would be a nice end for Sweden to steal 1 here. And certainly a nice time for Russia to take 2. Eskilsson is going to roll a bit too far with that one.
Слабый тейк. Да, Женек, можно подумать. Можно подумать, в принципе. Тайм-аут.
So timeout called for Russia.
Well, apparently feels like it's important to make a good move here.
Не, кстати, если они делают ролл, то он хотя бы цепляться.
They don't have too much time on the clock.
Даже если они ударить ролл на край стопы, пускай ролл делает ролл. Ролл сделает ролл, блядь, будет хреновый. Он выцепит. Ролл выцепит. Да нет, через него...
Vasily good in here.
Если они ролл сделают, пусть хотя бы цепляться.
Вам только...
Или фриз на него приедет.
Если он бьет дабл, то вы бьете тоже.
Этот стоит ниже, так что от него плохой получится. Вот так. Давай тогда вот сюда вот.
Держите два.
Окей.
Они будут наравне практически, если роллов сразу. Будет сложно.
Не, ну пусть что-то подумает.
Слабый тейк. Я не знаю, тут очень странные щетки теперь. Я думаю, вот так вот слабый будет. Вот так будет слабый. Ну я не знаю, Жень.
Men vi vet ungefär vad vi ska göra. Det handlar ju bara om att vara snabb.
Я просто...
Och klar.
Дело странное не очень, друзья. Слабый тейк.
So it looks like Vasily told him to play a hit on the red. Sit 2. Looks like if you notice this though, it's going to be a pretty easy double. Or maybe not. Sweden just looking for the roll behind the guard instead. Don't want to leave that shot for Russia.
Вот такой? Как твоя пипка? Как твоя пипка, вот такой?
Side.
Да.
Go! Up!
Gustav Eskilsson needs a good roll here. Same spot where it hasn't really been curling before, and this one hanging white as well. When he'll roll all the way out. Really big mistake there from the Swedish skip and third player.
было добавлено. Начало дома! Добавлял, Серег? Начало! Отличная линия, отличная линия. Начало! Артур! Артур! Начало! Идем линия. Идем линия. Сип! Сип! Да!
Well, it doesn't quite get enough curl, but luckily it will sit high enough for Sweden not being able to play the hit and sit shot. They're going to probably play the hit and roll off the white one instead here. Could come around with a draw, but that might just be too risky.
Vad tycker ni? Den är ganska svår.
Där är det träff.
Looking at the double as well.
Ja, du får välja.
Den här är hyfsat svår också. Typ träff där.
Vill du lira?
Jag tycker den här vicken. Ja.
So Gustav just asking Patrick what he wants to play, which I think is a good question to ask. It's obviously him playing the shot. He should be feeling comfortable with it, and he likes to hit and roll. So that's what they're going to be playing.
Yep, saying that this is their only chance to really steal two equally difficult shots.
Yeah, I like the hit and roll. Even if you don't make it, you might have a chance to do it again.
Whoa! Hey!
Maybe just pop this one too much.
Satan vad rakt det går. Kalla ingenting. Det tar på träff.
And they're once again saying that it's really straight there, but we've heard them say it so many times that you think that they should have taken less ice by now.
Yeah, it's, we've certainly had enough time to adapt. We've played 7 ends on the sheet. You even had 10-minute practice before, well, 9-minute practice before you came out, so just take less ice if you're not making the shots.
Можно свистнуть. Да. Ну, да.
So I think Arkhipov is more or less looking to replace that stone, maybe just a bit deeper. Just drawing the wing here. Even back 12 is pretty good here. So I don't think they're going to be that heavy, and they're going to leave the same roll, I think, for Patrick. Or maybe the double now. Yeah, double is certainly easier. Well, easier than it was.
Yeah, this angle is a bit easier.
Если вот хорошо же завез бы загар, он бы не стал отталкиваться, он бы его не оттолкнул, там какая сила нужна, если бы начал 4 поставить за гордом, ты бы чем бы отталкивался?
I think Patrick would make most of these doubles in practice.
Yes, for sure. It's just that one little detail that practice and playoffs in the World Championships are not really the same thing.
Let's see if the nerves get him here.
Whoa!
Oh, yeah, he's going to make it. Super shot. Looked a bit worried there for a second. He's going to make it. And looks like Arkhipov is just going to blank the end. Looked the cleanest on. Figured, well, I don't have enough time to be bothered with that. Last on of the 8th end.
He played that a little bit tight to the guard for just being a blank.
Yeah, could have caught the guard and maybe even actually jammed on one of the stones outside the house there. But no problem. And it's still 4 each after 8 ends. And there's a whole bundle of stones along the centre line for Canada and Scotland in the 1-2 page. Cottleknott just played a nice double peel off the guard. But although there are no guards left, it's looking pretty difficult there. Just about 4 or 5 stones frozen together at the top of the house over there. We're down to Thomas Muirhead's last shot. Still 4 each over there. Looked like Arthur Ali was ready to start the end. Patrick asked him, "You want to start?" Fine by me.
Yep, well, that's the thing when you blank, you don't need to start. You can keep hammer. And Sweden will definitely be looking to force Russia to 1 here. So they're going to put up the center card. Of course, if they would have drawn the house, Russia would just play the takeout and maybe blank the 9th end as well. Keep hammer in the 10th. So corner. So center guard from Sweden. And now it's time for Arthur Ali.
Jag hade inte velat börja.
Wow!
Jag hade inte...
Tolka VS, tolka VS.
Wow!
Tolka VS.
Bättre tid bara.
Wow! 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 Kör om det. Chip! Nej!
Really nice come around by the Russian lead, just in front of the tee line.
I think the applause was for Colton Lott's pick, though, or on sheet C. Came close to the guard and picked out the Scottish shot stone. And I think Canada lies 2 now. Top 8 and back 8. Kyle Smith needs to come around the top stones into the forfeit.
Yes, and Johannes Pats needs this to break down. Too much weight will hang wide and not ideal for Sweden there. Team stats, you see the Swedes just barely outscoring Russia here, 79% to 77. Of course, it's very tight and all about making key shots here.
Sip! Whoa! Whoa! Sip! Whoa! Whoa! Sip! 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 Sip!
And a little break for Sweden as Arthur Ali rolls out with that takeout. Can go for the freeze again.
Marginalkort nu.
Нормально поехал, кстати.
Frys. Bara fort.
Full step.
Bara ja. Bara fort.
Frys.
Ja.
Dutt.
Kör! Go, go.
Really good line there.
Kör.
Bring it all the way down. Nice shot from Jesper Johansson. Struggled a little bit in the 8th end, but seems to be back on track.
I think Arkhipov have that's just called for appeal from second of Mironov here. I'm going to take off the guard. You think the Russians might be looking to blank the end?
Okay.
I definitely don't think that they would mind. Certainly in this situation, you either want to score 2 or you want to blank. Scoring 1 will allow your opponent to have hammer in the 10th, and if they score 2 then they will win. So wouldn't mind the blank here. Sweden, of course, would love to force Russia to take 1.
Sätt in, han kommer nu. Måste köra nu.
Ja, kör ni. Oh. Japp.
Okej.
Japp.
So guard comes back up,
Kör!
and nicely done.
And over on the 1-2 page, we just saw Kyle make a really nice draw, but Matt Dunstan was able to follow with a board weight shot. Does roll out, however, and leaves the same draw maybe. Again, Canada's line 2 here. while we play cat and mouse on our sheet. Calling this one barely over the hog line. Everyone out to sweep here. Can they drag it over the hog line?
It will be over, but they also need it to curl just a bit more. And
bit of a scare there.
Still, now Russia is definitely able to reach.
And this might just be the edge for Russia. Glukov out shooting Eskilsson by 11%. But if you think about it, it's properly tied. Russia had hammer in the first end. That's 4 each now, and they still have hammer.
So just past the guard. Sweden still sitting one. Well, still, they are sitting one now.
So Kyle Smith played a hit roll off the back shot. And not sure if Canada is lying or not, but Matt Dunstan is drawing the forfeit. And it seems pretty good. So, one for sure. But it's going to be 2 for Canada in the 9th end. 1 point lead for the Maple Leaf. Scotland with hammer in the 10th.
Definitely a very close game. Sweden going to come around on the in-turn side again here, looking to lock one onto their shot stone. Russia will be able to make a play on their own though. Bit too much weight. Sweden sitting 2 now, but seems like Russia has a pretty easy double to sit to themselves. And Glukov, really the star of this game, makes a double. Russia sits 2.
Skala så mycket som möjligt efter garden. Lisbeth vill hack.
Серьезно, боюсь бежать, секунда веру.
Okej.
Там Димон первый стреляет. Все равно, что там от этого сопляка? Надеюсь, пожалуйста. Блин, ну Сережа, ну здесь, ну ебаный. Ё-моё. Блестящий твой ром.
Wow! Med! Nej! Upp!
Nej, upp.
Upp! Upp! Helt upp! Helt upp! Upp!
Ну да. Потому что если мы сюда, они потом вместе забросят, то нам не останется никуда играть. Ладно, так. Абсолютно. Налево. Нет, лево это с другой стороны. Вот так.
the Makush with some nice lead play over on the 1-2 page. Top 4, tight center. Well, we see Arkhipov laying the hit and roll. Just going to overcurl a wee bit, but maybe not in the horrible spot for them. Doesn't seem like there's a double now.
No, so just hack weight again from Marbury to try and push the shot stone straight back. Tricky for the Swedes now. That should still leave Russia some sort of shot for their deuce, but hoping for the perfect roll here.
Yeah,
the guard is very high.
Yeah, we got to come pretty tight. Patrick has a tendency to pop them, and they go very straight. Even that, even with hack weight.
Curl up, curl up, curl up.
We'll get to nose, but certainly Arkhipov will be able to reach this. And if he can do it and stick around, he will score 2.
Yes, just think that was a bit too much weight from the Swedes to make that shot.
So last zone of the 9th end. Opportunity for Russia to take control here if they can score 2.
Waiting for this one to curl. I think it's good enough. Nose hit, surely 2 for Russia. Frustration as they're getting to the Swedes here.
Yep, after 9 ends, the score is Sweden 4, Russia 6.
It looks like the Canadians are going really aggressive for the steal. They have stone top 4, top 12. There's a couple of yellow corner guards for Scotland. Matt Dunstan's called the centre guard from his second, Daniel Grant. So it might just be tough for the Scots to even score for the extra over there. Meanwhile, on our sheet, it's a 2-point lead for Arkhipov and his crew. They're going to throw it through. I think you want to put the second one on top 4 though.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to stop Sweden from scoring 2 if they get 2 good corner guards in play.
Oh, calling this one close to the house. Will it settle down in time? I'm not sure. And it's gonna just slip into the rings, and that's a very big mistake by Johannes Putz.
Yeah, that could pretty much be the game for the Swedes. Of course, now Arthur Ali is allowed to hit this, and after that we're on to second players, so they're allowed to hit everything.
Yeah, not being able to take good use of the free guard zone. This certainly is a time where the lead needs to step up and make the shots, and if they don't, it's so tough to score. It's been pretty solid so far, so it's sad to see him miss that shot. Looks closer now, but as you said, the Russians will be able to remove it, and if the Russians can make 6 more peels, they win the game.
50.
50.
No problem from Mironov. Feels the corner as we saw Scotland make a play into the house. Leilai's second shot, just biting the forefoot. Colton Law at third for Canada is looking to just close off the gap. Yeah, he's going to overcurl the guard. And good chance for Kyle Smith and his third player, Thomas Muirhead, to play the double after 2 reds in the house, top 12 and T-line.
Yeah, Sweden puts the corner guard on the other side, hoping that might generate a miss from Mironov as Muirhead makes the double. They now lie one, and it's in behind full cover. But no fooling Mironov there. That guard is also peeled.
Yeah, there's now a bunch of guards just on the right-hand side of the centre line, with Scotland having one in behind. Matt Dunstan's called the freeze from Colton Lott. His second stone at the end, so only 5 stones to go in that game after this. Sweden still looking for a mistake from Team Russia. You know, the corner guard peel is a simple shot, but again, it's the nerves. They might just get to you. But Glukov is as cool as a cucumber.
He really has been a solid rock for this Russian team the entire week.
And a great shot by Thomas Muirhead. Failed freeze attempt from Colton Lott. Gives him the opportunity to play the hit and roll. They sit 2 now in behind cover. Matt Dunstan forced to play the freeze himself with his first.
Så jag tänkte neråt.
О, поднять, поднять, поднять.
Another corner guard peel from Glukov. And the Swedes are now almost running out of stones.
Прикинь, они дотащили гард 20.
Kan jag släppa linan?
В смысле? Вот, помнишь?
Jag bara kör dit där.
Да. Вот. 21 секунда.
Kör ni.
17. Давай обычно на 7. На 7? Ну хочешь, давай на 5, но только внимательно.
So if Arkhipov can make the peel as well here, they will be looking extremely good for the win. Sweden only with 2 stones left to play. Of course, they need to score with both of them if they want to bring this game to an extra end.
Yeah, Arkhipov is 2 peels away from a semi-final. Looks very focused. He's going to make the first one. Sweden will have to draw the open house and hope for a rare mistake from Skip Arkhipov. Kyle Smith on the other sheet will pick out the red shot stone that was pretty much open. They lie 3 now. Remember, Canada has a 1-point lead. Scotland needs 2 for the win, 1 for the extra, and it's looking pretty good for them now. Matt Dunstan will have to play a freeze again on a stone that's just the top of the forfeit. Corner freeze for them as we see Patrick Malbags draw the open wing.
And Arkhipov now only 1 hit away from a semi-final.
Yep, just have to remove this red. Possibly the last stone of the game for Arkhipov. Green light, that's a good start. And I think they have this in the bag. Russia's going to win the 3-4 page. They head to the semi-final. Sweden drops down to the bronze. Still a chance for them to get a medal though. Sweden just couldn't get a grip and come back in the game. Just looked like Russia was that one step ahead the whole time. And you have a good chance of getting Russia's first medal ever at the World Juniors for the men's, that is. And we're going to skip over to the 1-2 page. That lonely red stone belongs to Canada. Kyle Smith just needs to move it for the win. Coming down now, crossing the hog line. Looking pretty good. Just got to snag a piece of the red stone, push it out. Oh, it's not going to be enough. Only 1 for Scotland, and it's an extra end. What a chance to put the game in the bag. Just needed to curl another inch. So while we wait for the extra, we can take a look at the scoreboard here. We just saw Arkhipov play the open hit for the win against Sweden. As mentioned, they will play the loser of the Scotland-Canada game in the semi-final. Sweden has dropped down to the bronze final game. We are waiting for the interview with what I guess will be the Russian coach, Vasily Gudin. He's been on a couple of times, and I'm guessing he's going to be very happy with the 3-4 page win here. So if you stay tuned, we'll have a few words with him, and we'll try to update you on the extra end between Canada and Scotland. So 6-6 between Canada and Scotland here. Cammy Smith will look for a couple of centre guards. Maybe not the best spot, comes a bit halfway. We're looking to put as much separation between the centre guards as possible. And I think a tech shot here is called by Matt Dunstan. Oh, maybe just a forfeit draw, actually. Didn't look like he was giving his lead too much ice, but it's going to nestle into the forfeit. And Kyle Smith has called a freeze. Don't know why they're not just putting up another center guard here. If they ever miss this shot, Canadians will be allowed to remove it. But looks like this one's coming down pretty nicely. Super shot by Cammy Smith.
So you've just made it into the semi-final. What do you think were the keys to winning this game?
Patience and better execution in key moments, especially because it's very nervous. It was a very nervous game for both teams, and my team was more careful and more accurate in the right moment. This is a key.
Did you talk to the boys about being nervous before the game?
Yes, of course, but I think it's impossible to be like cool in this game because it's first time for boys.
So extra in now between Canada and Scotland. Who would you like to play in the semi-final?
It doesn't matter.
What will be your plan?
We try to back to our game what we have in round robin, because I'm very disappointed about execution of this game, and we try to keep our nerves in control and back to the game what we have before.
So finally, what would it mean to you to score a medal here in the World Juniors?
It's a big step for all Russian curling, especially for men's curling, because it's the first time we got the possibilities to play for medal in a competition like World. Never been before, and I really want the medal.
Okay, well, best of luck to you and your team.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
So that was Coach Vasily Gudin. We're certainly happy with his team's performance. We just saw Daniel Grant make a double peel. So no centre guards up for Scotland. Just a corner and a couple of stones on the forfeit. We're down to Kyle Waddell's second stone. So Matt Dunstan has called for the peel. Maybe the run back here from Daniel Grant. Just a straight peel. I guess you're going to see Scotland just guard a couple of times more before they make a move. Team of Kyle Smith, of course, played the World Juniors last year in Östersund, beating Norway in the bronze final. with a win here, they'll improve for sure with a spot in the gold medal game. Nice centre guard there from Thomas Muirhead. Overcurled a wee bit, but surely the Canadians are just going to look to peel it. Colton Lott, third for Team Canada, with his second here. And again, no problem for him. Scotland calls the timeout. They're looking to come into the house here with Kyle Smith's first stone. David Ramsey, also called Rambo, will turn up here. Their coach. They will have 1 minute to discuss things over. Seems like maybe they've just called a freeze in the pocket here of the top 2 stones in the forfeit. So Kyle Smith for Scotland had the shot for the game in the 10th, just couldn't curl enough. Looking to nudge the Canadian shot stone out to the forfeit, couldn't move it far enough, only scored 1. This is the extra end. Looking pretty close here. I'm just going to freeze her on. Looks like they've gotten a really good angle on it. And you're certainly not going to be able to remove any yellows without moving your shot stone. And it looks like Canada has called a timeout as well. And we will have Scott Grant, father of second player Daniel Grant, head onto the ice. A few options. I think if you guard it, you'll maybe see Scotland play the double peel on the Reds, and you're left with a 1 foot draw for the win. If you're just tuning in here and you're wondering why there's no sound, we were showing you the 3-4 page between Sweden and Russia, and of course they all had their mics on, and these guys won't. We've just angled our camera over to sheet C, where the 1-2 page is. This is going to be Matt Dunstan, skip of Team Canada from Manitoba, Winnipeg, Manitoba. His first stone and this extra end. Looks like they are playing the guard here. I think that's ended up in a nice spot. Maybe overcurled and might be able to come and tap your yellows here. I guess it's either that or the slash double on the Reds. Slash would probably be the easier shot of the two. Not quite sure how much you can see. So Scotland have about 1 minute and 50 seconds left on the clock to make a decision here. think Kyle Smith has made up his mind. He's playing the slash double. He's going to double away the reds and leave Matt Dunstan with the 1 foot draw for the win. This, of course, is the 1-2 page winner. Will go to the gold medal game, while the loser drops down to the semi-final and plays Russia. Well, last on of the game for Kyle Smith. He's going to make it. Beautiful shot from Kyle Smith. Gets rid of both of the Canadian stones. Leaves himself lying to here. And of course no hesitation from skip Matt Dunstan. Only shot left here is the draw. Played a triple for the win at the Canadian Juniors. Now he's left with a draw to secure a medal here at the World Junior Curling Championships. He's taking his time here. Looking really focused. Kicking out about now. Lets it go. Sweepers are just cleaning it. A bit back. Backing off it now, looking heavy maybe. Backing all the way from the stone is going to go right through. And Scotland will steal away the game here in the extra, and they move to the gold medal game. They've secured a medal, while Canada has to play Team Russia in the semi-final. Looking pretty happy out there, the Scots now. So we're going to have Scotland in the gold medal game. We just saw Russia beat Sweden in the 3-4, so it's Canada playing Russia in the semi. So you might just get the same game again in the final. Canada-Scotland looked to be quite the exciting one, and we're going to take a look at some of the highlights. Between our game, Sweden and Russia in the 3-4, we had a blank end in the first. Arkhipov was looking for another blank in the second, just going to feather off the top red. And Sweden steals one. Third end, Arkhipov again. This time with a draw, facing two Swedish stones, and it's going to nestle into the 1 foot. Nice draw by the Russian skip for one. Fourth end, Patrik Målbergs, fourth player for Team Sweden, looking for the draw as well. This time it's Russia lying to. And another beauty for a single. Fifth end, Arkhipov looking to score two. No problems here, nose hit. They take a 1 point lead. Sixth end, Patrik Målbergs with a chance to score a couple, but just not going to curl enough, and Russia steals one. in the 7th. He will get a chance to score a couple again. Already lying one, just looking for the draw. And some good scrubbing from Patsen Johansson. Sweden scores 2. We get a blank end in the 8th. And Arkhipov here just looking for a hit to score 2 and get a 2-point lead. No problems there, and Sweden has to score 2. Only one red stone. Alone in the house, Arkhipov has the open hit for the win and a spot in the semi-final makes it. Much appreciated by their home fans. Here's a scoreboard. Sweden had to take 2 in the 10th for an extra. Could not quite make it. And as I mentioned a few times already, Scotland is ready for the gold medal game. Canada plays Team Russia in the semi-final. Sweden will await the loser of that game in the bronze. That's it for now. We'll be back with the conclusion of the playoffs here and the Ice Cube Curling Center, Sochi, Russia.